Good morning and welcome. This is Megan Mansfield from Accordant Company. Thank you for joining us today for our webinar from GCPay titled GCPay's Sage Integrations, No More Missing Lien Waivers or Sub-Billing Issues. Our presenter today is Dean O'Brien, Channel Account Executive from GCPay. Before we get started, I want to address a few housekeeping items. Everyone is muted for a clean listening experience. If you have any questions, please type them into the questions box. We will collect the questions and address them at the end of the session. For best viewing experience, please maximize your screen. Today's webinar is being recorded, and a link to the recording will be provided via email. With that, I'd like to turn it over to Dean.
Thanks, Megan. Thanks for everyone for joining. Excited to show you GCPay today and how we integrate with Sage. Essentially, we're a simple software that fully automates the payment application process between yourselves, the GC, and your subs. So let's talk a little bit about what GCPay is to start, to give you some background. GCPay, we were established in 2003. We've been around for a long time. One of the industry-leading SaaS platforms for managing the subcontractor pay application process. And right now we serve over 40,000 companies. So that's both GCs and subs. And you can see over $30 billion in contracts flow through our platform. Last year, we managed projects in all 50 states and Canada. All this to say, we're a very experienced company that has been doing this for a long time. We've gotten lots of customer feedback over the years that we've used to design what we feel is one of the most user-friendly and intuitive platforms out there for simplifying the subcontractor automation process. We can talk about why companies select GCPay. We're actually able to completely eliminate subcontractor billing errors. Your subs will only bill against an approved schedule of values that's updated in real time from your Sage environment, whether that's Sage 100, Sage 300, or Sage Intacct. We can actually pull over change orders and pull over contract values to establish an approved schedule of values and ensure that your subs are only billing against that approved schedule of values. No more unapproved change orders due to that integration. We'll pull those change orders directly over from your Sage environment and add them onto the approved schedule of values automatically as soon as you key them in to Sage and mark them as approved. GCPay is going to ensure that you have no more missing lien waivers. Your subs actually won't be able to submit a pay app without attaching signed lien waivers, notarized lien waivers, totally customized to your process. And you'll see that in action here in a few minutes. This is a big piece as well for Sage Intacct users. We can fully manage your compliance. I know with Sage Intacct, there currently isn't any compliance functionality. For Sage 100 and Sage 300, we can pull in all of your existing compliance information and also give you very powerful tools to manage and stay organized with your subcontractor compliance across all of your projects. We have e-payment functionality that can actually simplify your payment process for how you pay subs as well. You can pay all of your fully approved pay apps in just a couple clicks using GCPay's e-payment platform. We also make it so that you are never going to have to hand key invoices to or from Sage 300, Sage 100, or Sage Intacct. I think it's important to talk about what our customers say. Something we're really proud of here at GCPay is our customer support and our customer satisfaction. You can see we actually have a net promoter score of 84.5. Most companies out there shoot for 50 or above to be considered excellent. Customer satisfaction, 4.74 to 5 stars. This G2 review site, something we're really proud of. We actually get lumped into this construction accounting software on this review site. It is a great review site because they take the time to verify that all of their reviews that are posted are from real humans who've actually used the software. That construction accounting software includes hundreds of companies, and we're still winning awards. Best results, ease of use, best support, usability. Really proud of the results that we've had and the customer satisfaction we're able to provide to our customers. Which is great. GCs are obviously very happy with the platform and with the software and how it keeps them organized and efficient. But GCPay doesn't work unless your subs are also happy, having a good experience, adopting and using the platform. And we definitely understand that and take that very seriously. We've invested really heavily into our support team to ensure your subs also have a great experience on GCPay. We put out a survey last year just to subs to get a sense of what their feelings and opinions are of GCPay as well. And you can see we did quite well with subs, 4.3 out of 5 stars, 83% very satisfied, if not satisfied. And the thing is, we reached out to subs that have been in business for 10 plus years. This is not just newer subs who are sophisticated, used to leveraging the latest in technology. A lot of older, unsophisticated mom and pop style subs responded to the survey and had great things to say about the platform. To give you a sense of what comes with GCPay, if you did move forward with us, you'd have your own dedicated onboarding and account managers. They would look after training your entire admin staff, your accounting teams, project management teams. We would guide you through the entire onboarding process, step by step, customizing the platform to your processes and working with you for a long period of time to make sure that you have a great experience. One of the nice things with GCPay, it is a fast onboarding experience. This is not a platform that takes months to learn or start using in the real world. After 2 or 3 weeks, we can get your team fully trained on how to use the platform properly. And then it's a learn by doing experience where you can actually start running live billings out of GCPay, all the while having a dedicated onboarding manager as a one-on-one point of contact to coach you, help you, ensure that you're making the most out of the GCPay platform. And then going forward, you always have unlimited access to our support team. They're available from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern time, virtually any time of day, to help not only yourselves, but your subs as well. The great thing about GCPay, it's our responsibility to train, onboard, and support all of your subs directly as well. It'll never be on your plate to field questions about the GCPay platform from your subs. Show them how to use the platform. We look after all of that for you. You get unlimited users. All of your employees, all of your staff can be users on GCPay. There's no licensing fees or per seat costs or anything like that. And of course, continuous training is always available at no additional cost through our support team. So that's enough talking, enough background on GCPay. From here, I'm going to stop sharing my screen just for a moment, and I will show you the platform in action here. Just switching over to the browser. You can see here, this is the GCPay login screen. Should be able to, could someone, Sabrina, are you able to confirm that my screen is showing right now for you?
Yes, we can see it.
Excellent. So this is the GCPay platform. The first thing I want to point out, GCPay is fully cloud-based. There's no app to download or anything like that. It is browser-based as well. It's going to look great on a desktop, laptop, computer. It's also going to look great on a smartphone or a tablet. Your subs could essentially frame up a building, install plumbing, jump into their truck, pull out their phone, log into GCPay and manage all of their billing right from the parking lot. To start, I'm going to log in as a GC, and you can see when I log in, you're greeted with this welcome page to start. You have some quick links here that you can press. If I wanted to start a new project, I could do that in one quick click right here from the welcome screen. We've got recent news as well to keep you posted on any new feature enhancements that are coming through GCPay. Starting a new project's very simple. You just select your Sage accounts. From there, you can actually go in and we will pull over all that relevant information right out of Sage to start this project and get it going. For today, I'm going to navigate to the projects tab, which would list all of your active projects. Great for a work in progress meeting where you can see total progress, total budget, dollar complete, percent complete, retainage, all in one spot to keep tabs on your active projects. Customers do appreciate this for the work in progress meetings. I've set up a project to start us off today. It's called the Mountain Ridge Mall. Right when I open up this project, you can see under project settings, I'm able to go in and customize how I want to run this project. Every time you create a new project within GCPay, there are default settings. So creating new projects, you will have most of your settings already set up, ready to go. Your onboarding manager, again, will help you customize your default settings so that setting up new projects is easy. From there, I can customize my projects at a one-off level if there's anything unique I need to tweak about this project. And one of the first things we need to do is decide which users are going to have access to this project from our organization. I can add my staff members to the project easily in a couple clicks through this drop-down menu, and then drill into each individual user and decide what roles and permissions they're going to have on the project. Again, by default, each user is going to have their default permissions already set up and saved to their account. So if your staff members are always going to have the same role, same permissions on every project they work on, you're not going to have to come in here and change that every time. That will already be set up for you. I can also customize the review order from first, second, third, all the way down to a seventh approver. GCPay is going to take care of automatically routing all of those inflowing documents from one approver to the next for you. Next thing I need to do is add subs onto the project. You can see I've already added 2 subcontractors here, Ford Metals and Jackson Heating. Adding new subs is very easy. I can search for any sub that uses the platform just through this search bar and get those subs added in a couple clicks. During the onboarding process, we'll also provide you with a nice email template that you can send off to all of your subs who are not currently using GCPay. And we have a great way of identifying those subs for you through our sub match report. Once you've added your subs, the first major point of integration with Sage 300 is actually pulling over those commitments and getting an approved schedule of values. GCPay can actually help you create schedule of values with your subs. We can pull over a flat contract value, send that off to your sub, have them break it down into detailed line items, and then send that schedule of values back over to you to approve. If you already have that detailed line item breakdown in your Sage environment, we can simply pull over the detailed schedule of values right out of Sage, auto approve it. With this fully approved schedule of values, Ford Metals is able to actually start creating their progress claims. This compliance tab shows how we're able to actually manage all of your compliance within GCPay. Again, if you're using Sage Intacct, GCPay can act as your compliance tool since currently Sage Intacct doesn't have any compliance management functionality. We'll pull over all of your compliance information from Sage 100 or Sage 300 if you're already using the compliance management tools within Sage. We can simply pull over those required documents along with their expiry dates, and we'll proactively notify all of your subs to refresh expiring documents 30 days before they expire. We will also allow you to block subs from even submitting pay apps if they're out of compliance. Lots of tools within GCPay to ensure that only compliant subs are submitting pay apps and you're not accidentally paying non-compliant subs. All of this information can actually be managed right out of this dashboard. This is one of the most powerful tools within GCPay, and what makes GCPay so easy to learn and implement. Your staff can actually go right to their dashboard and see all of their actionable items across all of their different projects in one place and navigate to review and approve all those inflowing documents out of this dashboard. For today, on this Mountain Ridge Mall project, I'd like to show you what the process is to actually submit application for payments. Again, going to project companies, you can see that Ford Metals here is a subcontractor on the project. So what I'll do from here is log out as the GC. I'm going to log back in as Ford Metals. And from here, I can actually go right to my dashboard and have the same access that you as a GC have. I can see all of my actionable items across all my projects as a sub. So GCPay has powerful tools to keep your subs organized as well. They can see all of the required compliance documents that they need to provide to you, expired compliance documents that they need to refresh, and compliance documents that are expiring soon. Again, all from this dashboard. From here, I'll open up the Mountain Ridge project. You can see again, right on this overview page, we're prompting this subcontractor Ford Metals to refresh their compliance issues, letting them know that they have outstanding compliance issues that they need to action. The compliance tab is also lit up in red, and they'd also receive those email notifications proactively, excuse me, notifying them about compliance that's coming up for expiry. So multiple ways of keeping your subs in the loop, informing them on what's required of them. So creating the application for payment is very simple and easy. All I need to do is press that create button. You can see from here, I can only bill against this approved schedule of values and these specific line items. All the automation you would expect from GCPay is here. Of course, I can't overbill a specific line item. I'll get an error message. It won't let me continue. I can either key in an amount or a percentage of work to date complete. I can also bill against stored material. I'm getting a summary down here below as well that factors in retainage and gives the subcontractor a strong idea of what they can actually expect to be paid once they submit this application for payment. The great thing here is it's impossible for your subs to bill against unapproved change orders. They simply won't exist on the approved schedule of values. You can see we have pulled in a change order here from Sage. Those change orders get pulled in automatically every 30 minutes as long as they're sitting in your Sage environment in the approved status. Before that, this change order would not exist and could not be billed against, meaning no more unapproved billings from subs. From here, I can press save. You'll see here this submit button is still actually grayed out. This is where GCPay is again enforcing the collection of those required documents. Not only do we enforce the collection of required documents, GCPay also has really powerful tiered vendor tracking tools. If you're interested in learning more about that, please contact GCPay. We'd be happy to run you through a demo and show you exactly how we can help you with your third-party vendor supplier tracking. We are going to prompt all of your subs to report on those tiered vendors. For the sake of today's webinar, I'm going to press no. Please do get in contact if you want to learn more about that. Next, we can actually have a customized checkbox set up for your subs. Here you can force your subs to acknowledge any kind of messaging that you feel is important. Again, this is another touch point for us to remind them about outstanding compliance items. This could be customized, of course, to any sort of messaging that's unique to the project or anything that you want to call your subs' attention to before they submit this payment for application. Here's our lien waiver functionality in action. You can see for the sake of this webinar, we actually are asking for 3 different lien waivers. Of course, during a regular project, this probably would not be the case for the first application for payment. Just want to show you the different kind of functionality that we have. When I press sign for this conditional lien waiver, we can see here that GCPay has actually taken a default lien waiver, which you provide to us during the onboarding process or during the early stages of starting a new project. Simply provide us a Word document with the lien waiver that you'd like your subs to sign off on. We'll take the time to actually go in and put digital tags throughout the lien waiver so that GCPay can actually autofill all these different fields by pulling information directly out of the GCPay platform. So you can see here we've pulled out the company name, amounts, address, dates. There's over 80 digital tags we can use to customize these lien waivers for you. The sub does not have the ability to modify or change anything on this perfectly generated lien waiver. It's going to be impossible for your sub to make a typo or an error on any of the fields, of course, since we're pulling information right out of GCPay. From here, they can actually electronically sign this lien waiver. Again, if they're sitting in a parking lot after framing up a building, your subs are able to provide you with signed and executed lien waivers. Again, from anywhere in the world, they have access to the internet and a device. The great thing about our e-signature functionality is from an approval standpoint, you almost don't even need to put eyes on reviewing this electronically signed lien waiver because you know for a fact it was generated perfectly, impossible to make a typo or an error. You also know this couldn't be modified. They couldn't sneak in any kind of verbiage or make changes to the lien waiver. And you also know you have a fully legal UETA guidelines signature from that sub on that lien waiver. If you'd like to learn more about our lien waiver functionality, we'd love to show you that on a demo so we could explain exactly how that works. For the unconditional waivers, again, this is a really powerful tool that GCPay has. This works side by side with our e-payment functionality. As a sub, we can actually collect those unconditional or final lien waivers up front from your subs before you pay them so that you're never in a situation where you're chasing down subs to collect final or unconditional lien waivers, which of course you're probably waiting on so that you can receive payment from your owner. It explains how that works here for the sub. Essentially, it's an escrow system where once the sub signs off on this unconditional or final lien waiver, we watermark it with this unofficial copy watermark and place it in a digital lockbox. The sub knows that you, the GC, will only receive the official copy of this unconditional lien waiver once we can confirm through our money mover FastPay that the funds have hit the sub's account and they have in fact been paid for the work. As soon as the funds hit the account of the sub, the official copy of the unconditional or final lien waiver is released to you, the GC, and you have full access to it. This protects both parties. Your subs are confident that they can sign off on unconditional or final lien waivers before being paid, and you're confident that you're never going to have to chase down a sub for an unconditional or final lien waiver after having already paid the sub, where of course there isn't much incentive on the sub's part to complete documents and return them to you once they've received that final payment. Lastly, if you do require notarized lien waivers, we do have a partnership with notarize.com. I won't click on this link now, but if I did, this would open up a Zoom window with notarize.com where I could have this conditional lien waiver notarized right over the internet, again, from anywhere in the world. Otherwise, the sub could download this perfectly generated conditional lien waiver, notarize it themselves in person, and then re-upload it to the platform. Which, in this case, I will upload a sample notarized waiver. Lastly, since we build for stored material, you can communicate very clearly to your sub exactly what's required from them as far as backup goes to be able to successfully build for stored material, whether you're looking for insurance certification, title transfer, pictures. You customize exactly what you need to see from subs for a successful stored material billing submission, and the sub understands clearly what's required of them and can upload the appropriate backup material. Now, only once I've hit all of these different items, attached all the required documents, provided all the stored material backup, acknowledged the proper messaging, reported on my third-party tiered vendors, can I actually press the submit button and push this back over to you as the GC. Couple final items before I can submit this. I also need to confirm that the bank account I've keyed into GCPay is accurate since we are using e-payment functionality. I will say the e-payment functionality is entirely optional. You don't have to use the e-payment functionality for GCPay, but the nice thing is we take on all the risk along with our money mover FastPay. You never have to collect, store, maintain any kind of financial information from your subs. The collection of that information is all automated through GCPay. And of course, we have multiple layers of security and fraud protections in place to make sure that all of your parties are protected. If you're interested in learning more, again, about e-payment and some of those fraud protections that we have through our Money Mover FastPay, please do get in contact. We'd love to run you through that on a demo or discovery call. From here, I'll press submit, and I push this payment for application back over to the GC to review and approve. Logging out as the sub, logging back in as the GC. Again, I can just navigate straight to my dashboard and see all of my submitted items in one spot that need my attention. I can see Ford Metals has submitted this Mountain Ridge Mall payment for application, and I can open that up again directly from the dashboard, doing a big picture review, knowing full well that there aren't any math errors, overbilled line items, or unapproved change orders on this payment for application. You can also see on the second payment for application, we will carry over all of the previous amounts for your subs, meaning that your subs will never make errors on previous billed amounts as well as they move their way through the project. I can go in, check on all of the different materials that were attached for stored materials or uploaded lien waivers. And from there, I can approve this pay app. Once you have a fully approved pay app, GCPay will actually eliminate all of the hand keying that you might be doing today to get information back into your Sage environment. We can actually export all of your fully approved pay apps directly into Sage so that you can generate an invoice. That way you can actually pay your subs the traditional way that you're used to without using our e-payment functionality. We also have a number of reports at both the project level and the company level that you can use to gather information, gather required documents, prepare reports for your owners that include all of the materials that they want to see. If you want to learn more about the reporting, we can definitely get into more detail on the demo with you, just based on the information that you need to collect at the end of a typical billing period. Again, for e-payment functionality, if you're interested in learning more, please do get in contact. But you can see here, since I was the first and final approver for this Ford Metals pay app, I do have a payable, fully approved pay app here sitting in my e-payments tab that I can pay in just a couple clicks by checking off the fully approved pay apps that I'd like to pay and pressing submit for payment, or adding to a queue using our Treasury Assistant functionality. You can have two levels of approval for the e-payment, where payables are pushed to a final approver to actually press the submit for payment button and push those out. This, of course, allows you to pay your subs in just a couple of clicks using our e-payment functionality, using your own bank account. No requirement to sign up for a specific bank account in order for this e-payment functionality to work. That's a high-level overview of GCPay, some of the automation tools that we can provide you to help with lien waiver collection, compliance management, subcontractor billing errors, eliminating unapproved billings, and just helping you stay organized if ever you run into a situation where you are in an audit and need to collect documents. GCPay makes it really easy. You'll have full historical access to all of your projects within GCPay, and accessing those stored documents is going to be very easy as well for those situations. If you do have any questions, please key those into the chat. Otherwise, I would love to show you GCPay more in depth in a more tailored fashion to your processes, what you're looking for. From there, Megan, I will throw it back over to you.
Thanks, Dean. Yeah, we do have several questions. So I'm going to start off with, does every sub have to use GCPay in order for us to use it? We work with many small, rather unsophisticated subs.
Yeah, and this is a very common question that we hear from GCs that are looking at GCPay. I often hear GCs tell me that they think, they have the most difficult subs in the world, and no one else works with subs that are quite this unsophisticated. The fact of the matter is, every GC that we work with has unsophisticated, smaller mom and pop style subs. And we've invested really heavily into our support team to make sure that those subs also have a great experience using GCPay. They can reach out to our support team to get as much help as they need. If they need us to walk them through every single pay app submission that they perform within GCPay, we are definitely willing and able to do that. And when they call in for help, your subs are going to get a 7-second average answer speed to connect with a member of our support team to get the help that they need. It is not foreign to us at all that there are, unsophisticated mom and pop style subs out there that are going to need more hand-holding and more help using GCPay. And we're confident that we can get them onboarded and on the platform. Of course, it's always going to be our responsibility to get those subs onboarded. It's never going to fall on your plate to walk your subs through using the platform or submitting pay apps. So you can feel confident in that. Now, of course, if there is a situation where you have a sub that for whatever reason is flat out refusing to use GCPay, of course, there are workarounds where you can actually create submissions on behalf of your subs to still have all that information stored and tracked in one spot within GCPay. That would be a very last step measure, and it's actually a very rare circumstance that would ever have to come to that. That's a great question. That's a really common question, and yeah, I would just really emphasize that even those unsophisticated mom and pop style subs are going to be in great hands with GCPay.
Excellent. I have another question.
I would add to that, you guys, that usually by that third billing cycle, we see between 90 to 95% of subs are billing in GCPay because of that support that Dean mentioned.
That's a great point, Sabrina.
Excellent. I have another question. Do we have to enter all the sub name address information into GCPay, or does it get pulled in from Sage?
With your subs, adding them onto projects is pretty quick and easy, and I can review that very quickly here. On this project companies tab, I can add subs just by searching for the sub within this text box up here. I can search by EIN or by subcontractor name. This way, I'm only adding companies onto a project that are actually already registered on GCPay. If they're not searchable right now in this text box, that means that they're not currently registered on GCPay, and we wouldn't want you adding them onto the project under the impression that they are on GCPay and they can log in and actually submit those pay apps. That's the reason why we do require that subs are added to projects in this fashion. Usually it's a 5 to 7 minute process to get all of your subs added onto a project at the start of the project. And of course, during onboarding, we'll make sure that any sub that's not currently registered on GCPay, we actually have a match report that we can run if you provide us with a list of EINs of subs that you work with. So we can identify very quickly which of your subs are not currently registered on GCPay and get them that welcome email. It's got really clear step-by-step instructions on how to get registered on the platform, how to submit pay apps, everything they need to know on that email, and most importantly, our direct contact information so that they can reach out to us if they need any help at all. There's also a nice on-demand training video, but subs do need to be added to the project in this way, and that's kind of a control just to make sure that you're not adding subs that aren't already registered onto the GCPay platform.
Okay, great, thanks. Another question. Can I have multiple versions of waivers? Some clients have very specific verbiage they require.
That's a really great question. That comes up a lot as well, and the answer is yes. So each individual project has its own project settings and its own lien waiver section here. Of course, if you want to learn more about this, I'd be happy to run through a demo and explain exactly how this works. But yes, if you have an owner specific lien waiver for a specific project, if you're doing a project that's out of state for the first time and you have to use new lien waivers, all you have to do is provide us with a Word document of the lien waiver that you're going to be working with. Our support team is going to take the time to get that uploaded into a lien waiver library for you. And they're also going to take care of adding all those digital tags so that, again, you can get a perfectly generated lien waiver simply by pulling information right out of GCPay.
Excellent. Another question. Who pays for a notarized waiver if completed online, the GC or sub?
The cost would be on the sub. It would be on the sub to pay that fee to notarize.com. Of course, notarize.com is a great service. It's more of a convenience service though. If you're in a situation where it's very late on a weekend or a Friday and you can't get to a notary, but you really need to get this document notarized, I think notarize.com can be a powerful convenience tool. Of course, there is a cost associated with it, and it's probably more expensive than taking it to a bank or a notary that you're already familiar with. It really is just there as a convenience function, and it's definitely saved a couple of subs who were in a tight spot a few times. But yeah, as a GC, it's never going to be your responsibility to pay for that service. The sub would be paying for that service directly.
Great. Another question. If a sub sends an invoice via email, can that email be linked to automatically upload into GCPay, and that connects to their subcontract without the sub having to manually enter into GCPay?
So I think one of the major points of GCPay is to eliminate invoices coming in through email in varying different formats, where when a sub sends over a PDF or whatever invoice format they send over, it's gonna require a lot more approval work on your behalf, just to make sure that A, they haven't deviated from the approved schedule of values, B, they haven't tried to add any additional line items or unapproved change orders, and C, that all the billing numbers that they keyed in are accurate and complete. It's going to lead to a lot of back and forth anytime you're managing sub invoices through email. So that's why your subs would actually be logging in directly to the GCPay platform and submitting all their pay apps that way against the approved schedule of values that you have both agreed upon. That's essentially set in stone and can't be deviated from, aside from keying change orders into Sage. So to answer the question, no, we don't currently have functionality to pull in invoices from an email. And really the whole point of GCPay is to get away from managing invoices through email and all the manual work that can go into that. Also, the possibility of things getting lost in an inbox or missed is eliminated through GCPay and our dashboard as well.
Excellent. One more question. Are there storage limits for the uploaded material?
There are storage limits, but they're on a very high threshold. So there should be no issue uploading the required documents that you need to see from your subs. I don't know quite off the top of my head what the upper threshold is on the size of the files that you upload, can upload into GCPay, but I know it is.
We've no one's ever hit it. Of all of
Yeah,
our like hundreds of Sage customers, no one has ever hit it. So I think anyone who's asking that, I think you would be okay with GCPay's storage limits on stored material documents.
definitely. And of course, we wouldn't recommend that you have 10,000 page documents or anything like that uploaded into GCPay if you are requiring those from subs. But yeah, again, it should be a very rare instance that you require a document of that size.
And another question to that, can the files be exported?
Yes, definitely. There's a number of reports that you can run within GCPay to pull documents that you're looking for into a PDF, and be happy to show them exactly how that works on a demo, because there are a number of different reports you can run that can generate a number of different documents for a specified time period, and you can easily pull those into a PDF so that you can put together an owner billing or whatever you need to do with those documents.
Yeah, Dean, do you want to just show, like scroll up and just show where the report section is, just so they can see?
Yeah, for sure.
So those are the project level reports.
Then we also have company level reports here.
But yeah, whoever asked that, we can, when we give you a demo, we can go way more in depth on those reports.
Okay, great. There are no more questions. Give everybody one more minute to see if they want to type in another question. No, if not, thank you, Dean. Thank you, Sabrina. That was excellent. We will now, as a reminder, a link to the webinar will be sent out later today to everybody who registered. So, with that, we'd like to conclude the webinar, and thanks again for joining us, and have a really great day.
Thanks for having us, Megan. Thank you,
Thank
everyone,
you,
for
everyone.
attending.
Thank you. Have a great
Bye
day.
now. Thank
Hope
you.
to connect with you all soon.